Wanted for rocking D&D armor and a green cape in the 21st century? You know him, you loathe him, the loony from Latveria? Ta-da!
If I asked you why Doctor Doom is a villain, what would you say? You would probably say something like he wants to rule the world. He's jealous of Reed Richards. He's basically an evil king with a metal suit and a god complex. That's the movie version, more or less. And honestly, it's kind of forgettable. But here's the thing, this is not what actually drives Comic Doom, not even close. The real reason is way sadder and way more personal, and it honestly makes him one of the most human villains in comics. Let's talk about the movie version quickly. Movie Doom across all Fantastic Four films is basically just a rich guy, angry businessman, or scientist who gets powers and decides he wants control. He's smart, he's cold, he wants power for power's sake. He feels like a guy from a boardroom who got sapped by something and turned evil. And that's fine, it's a normal villain setup. Smart guy gets power, wants more power, fights the heroes. We have seen this 100 times. Comic Doom does not want power for power's sake. Comic Doom is trying to save someone. Okay, here's where this actually gets good. The person he's trying to save is none other than his own mother. In the comics, Doom's mother was named Cynthia. She was part of a group of traveling people in a made up country called Latveria, and she had a gift for old magic, the real kind, not tricks. One night, to protect her family, she made a deal with a demon lord called Mephisto. And when you make a deal with the demon in these stories, it never goes the way you hope. Cynthia died soon after, and her soul just didn't move on. It got trapped, held by Mephisto in his version of hell. Doom was just a kid when this happened, and he never let it go. Not for one single year of his life. Everything after that point, every plan, every fight, every bit of dangerous magic he studied, on top of his science, some part of it traces back to one goal: get his mother's soul out of hell. That's the real motivation behind Doctor Doom. It's not ambition, it's grief that he never got to finish. This is why he fights actual demons and actual gods. This is the part that changes your perspective of how the classic comic book version of Doctor Doom actually is compared to the movie version. In several comic book stories, Doom just straight up goes to hell, not as a metaphor. He literally travels to Mephisto's realm and challenges him directly, one on one, trying to win his mother back, either through a fight or a bargain. In one well known story, he actually teams up with a superhero, and it's none other than Doctor Strange himself, because Strange actually understands magic well enough to help him try. And here's the thing, sometimes he almost wins. Sometimes the story teases that maybe finally this is the time he gets her back, and then it falls apart anyway. Because Mephisto is the kind of being who always finds the loophole. So Doom loses again and again across decades of stories. Think about that for a second. This is a man brilliant enough to build time machines, brilliant enough to challenge cosmic beings, rulers of his own country, and none of that matters to him. The way getting his form back matters. He would trade almost anything for it. Here's my actual take, and some people might disagree with me on this. I think the MCU version of Doom is actually lame. I mean, sure, he's a smart guy with powers, but that's almost every other villain. There's nothing besides it. You forget his motivation the second the movie ends. Comic Doom sticks with you because his motivation isn't really villain. Comic Doom sticks with you because his motivation isn't really villain logic at all. It's just a son who couldn't save his mother and spent his entire life refusing to accept that. He tells himself and everyone around him that he does everything for control and pride. But underneath that armor, he's still just a kid in Latveria who lost his mom and decided the universe was going to pay for it one way or the other. That's what makes him tragic instead of just cold. He's not chasing power because he loves power. He's chasing power because he thinks somewhere down the line, enough power finally fixes the thing he never got to fix. And it never does. That part gets me. He's one of the smartest people in the entire Marvel universe. And the thing he wants the most is the one thing he can never achieve. Okay, let's talk about other small differences. Doom's face scar in the comics happened because of his own mistake, An experiment that went wrong when he was young and too proud to listen to a warning. It wasn't some outside attack, it was pride catching up to him early, before he even became a villain. He wears mask in most versions, partly because of that. He wears mask in most versions, partly because of that scar, and partly because admitting that scar is small would mean admitting he was wrong. So he tells people it's much worse than it really is. Comic Doom generally believes he's the hero of his own story. He thinks the world would simply be better if he ran it. And he's not lying when he says that. He believes it completely. He's got body doubles called Doombots, robots built to look exactly like him, like in the Ultimate Spider Man. So, in a lot of comic stories, you're never fully sure if the Doom on the page is even the real one.